Welcome everybody, my name is Michael and today we are discussing about many things in the crypto world. First of all, we have hit on the crypto fear and greed index 7 out of 100. A 7 out of 100, not too great. And there is a ton of news in relation to the crash around us right now. So first of all, Bitcoin is around $21,000. There are some red flags around BlockFi Financial. Right now, there has been a lot of news regarding 3AC, Three Arrows Capital. Of the top 100 coins, 72 in the top 100 have fallen 90% or more in the past couple of weeks. So the crypto hedge fund Three Arrow Capital is one of a couple of hedge funds that is in deep trouble and potentially looking towards the direction of bankruptcy, insolvency. So with Finblocks, that's another centralized lender. It's backed by Sequoia. They've had some exposure to Three Arrows Capital. There's been a lot of companies that have had exposure, and then the contagion spreads. And suddenly, if one company's going insolvent, then another one with billions of dollars or hundreds of millions lend it out. It's not great. So, Finblocks, we have Three Arrows Capital. There's BlockFi is most likely fine, but there's been a lot of panic about that. Mark Cuban came out and said that a lot of crypto companies, firms sustained by cheap, easy growth over the past year will suddenly, well, disappear very quickly. A lot of them are going to go bankrupt. A lot of crypto hedge funds are going to vanish right now. Those who have been swimming naked, as soon as the tide grew back, you can suddenly see them without their masks and everything. So a lot of companies, this is similar to 2018 during the crash, not just the crypto crash, but right now there's also a global recession with the Fed hiking up rates for one of the greatest percentage increases in modern history since the 2008 recession. There's a lot going on here. It's kind of, we're living through a history right now. Another crash. Some people are saying we're not going to see another bull market until 4 years from now. I think Bitcoin is going to continue to fall quite a bit. I think we can definitely 100% confidently say we're going to be below the $20,000 range. We might even get to $10,000. We might even get below $10,000. And unfortunately, the crypto newbies, this is going to be a shock, a complete shock to the system. They're not prepared for this. So there was another Celsius. This was another lender that just got decimated. It suffered severe losses, including over 38,000 Ethereum, followed by another $22 million in a hack. So Luna collapsed. After the Luna collapse, a lot of crypto started falling. After that, all the crypto hedge funds, all the crypto investment companies, they started falling too. One by one, all these lenders, well, they're beginning to shut down. They are beginning to limit withdrawals. They have restrictions out of nowhere. So for Three Arrows, BlockFi was one of a handful of firms that liquidated the Singapore-based hedge fund's positions. Three Arrows Capital failed to meet demands from lenders to stump up extra funds after its digital currency bets turned sour. Well, that's one hedge fund that's probably going to go away. BlockFi was among the groups that liquidated at least some of Three Arrows' positions, meaning it reduced its exposure by taking collateral the fund had put down to back its borrowing. We're talking about billions of dollars suddenly being, well, locked or margin called or disappearing. Celsius blocked withdrawals last week. A pair of major tokens collapsed in May. When we take a look at the Celsius situation, Yahoo Finance compared it to Luna being the Bear Stearns moment in 2008, Celsius Network being the crypto industry's Lehman Brothers, the failure that exacerbates a market crisis. So Celsius had more than $8 billion lent out to clients and $12 billion in assets under management by May of this year. Suddenly, Coinbase, BlockFi, and Crypto.com have announced job cuts. Celsius is not just cutting jobs, but we have billions of dollars that suddenly are stuck. They're stuck. So all withdrawals are frozen. Most likely they're facing insolvency. At this point, we're talking about billions. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz said he thinks 2/3 of crypto hedge funds will go out of business. His prediction took days to start bearing out. After $400 million in liquidations, Three Arrows Capital is reportedly facing insolvency, and many dominoes look likely to fall next. So, 3AC's co founder Su Tzu commented, "We are in the process of communicating with relevant parties and fully committed to working this out." Initially, he was not responsive. So, in addition to what's been happening all around, FinBlocks had an important update. They said they will change withdrawal limits to $500 per day, up to a maximum of $1,500 per month for all levels of users. They will pause reward distributions, delay referral programs, deposit rewards also delayed, disable creation of crypto addresses for newly registered users. Ultimately, FinBlocks will do everything in its power to protect our users' funds and reinstate your services in full. Now, whenever stuff like this happens, if we go back to 2018, there was a lot of companies that made big promises, a lot of scams as well, and they never came back online. And even not too long ago, when we posted that video on Mt. Gox, one of the original crypto big boys who suddenly fell down and millions of dollars was lost overnight. Over 1 million users. This was back in 2013, 14, 15. Suddenly, there was a ton of people on there. Right now, we're dealing with something much greater, 10, 100 times larger. And you're going to have a lot of these, hundreds of companies that are going to fall out of the woodwork over the next year. This is just the beginning of the crypto winter. There is a lot of hope for going forward, but 90% of the projects right now that people are invested in will go down greatly, and many of them will not recover ever. Some may be scams, some may be rug pulls, some may not have been scams, but the co-founders have enough control and they ran out of money and they're freaking out that they will become scams. There's going to be stuff like this happening all over. And even if something is not a con, you're going to have companies that will go insolvent, or there were great mistakes made in accounting and whatnot, and suddenly you have billions of dollars that were lost. So altogether, the crypto markets are not in a good place. We have lost over $2 trillion across over 20,000 cryptos. And right now, yesterday we were at 1 trillion. Now we're not even at 900 billion. We're approaching 890 billion. And I'm sure pretty soon we will be at 800 and potentially even 700 billion. So a lot of cryptocurrencies are suddenly going down. Bitcoin is down 32% over the past 7 days. And that's not even the worst of it. There's some cryptos that are 50, 100% down just over the past 24 hours, which is absolutely insane for newcomers, but this is something that I guess you get used to. So thanks so much for watching. We will be discussing more in depth about companies that are going bankrupt, because I'm sure within the coming weeks we're going to have reports of that. So 3 Arrows Capital most likely gone. It's not as big of a collapse as Luna, because Luna was kind of a shock. But you are going to see a lot of crypto hedge funds that will disappear. Thanks for watching.